Good morning. It's Wake the F Up Mondays. We are here. We are super excited. Welcome to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show, featuring Wake Up Team with the Queen SennyJ, the Queen Miss Miko, only place on earth where you get your morning started right. The chat room is wide open, or you can call in 570-982-6950. Broadcasting live on all major podcast platforms, all social media platforms. We are here. We are grateful to be here. Please like, share, follow, subscribe to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team, if you don't mind. Wake the F Up Monday. SennyJ, good morning. God bless you.
Good morning.
Good to see you, young lady. Looking well. And how are you?
I'm doing great, Shawn. Good morning to everybody listening. We have an amazing show for you here today. We are going to get started with Senny Says, where I will let you know what is going on in Hollywood and entertainment news. We're also going to have Front Page News with SennyJ, where I will let you know everything that is happening locally, nationally, and globally. So make sure you stick around for that.
Of course, you want to stick around for that. Felicia is in the building from Detroit. Felicia, what's up? Good morning. How you doing? God bless you. Good to see you. Listen, Detroit, Felicia, what's up? You already know what we did. We changed the show. The name of the Monday. It was our motivational Mondays. Is Wake the F Up Monday. So welcome to Wake the F Up Monday. So we're gonna get right into this right now. Please like, share, follow, subscribe to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team on all media. First, before we get in this, SennyJ, just to recap the weekend, we'll start with you first. How was your weekend, young lady?
My weekend was great, Shawn. We had some really good weather. I'm so excited about that because it makes me feel like spring is on the way. It's coming, even though we're supposed to get like a little snow this week, but whatever. I hung out with friends. That's really it. It wasn't that exciting, but it was eventful to say the least. So it was a good weekend.
Sounds like a regular weekend to me.
Yeah, nothing special. But I
Uh,
did get out of the house because these last couple of weekends I haven't really been doing anything. So it was good to be among the land of the living.
well, I'm glad that you got an opportunity to make it outside to see and hang out and be with the others. Now, before we
Word.
get into my weekend, of course, I do stand-up comedy. I did a show in Piscataway, New Jersey the other night. Place was packed. The show was unbelievable. It was funny. I had the honor of closing out that show with the jokes. So I appreciate, my man CJ Cracks for allowing me to do that. And also my homegirl Monique Latif and Omar Thompson. It was great working with those guys, and I truly appreciate them. My man Q Brooks was in the building. Now, but Cindy, while I was in the club, and welcome to the show, guys. Wake the F Up Monday. Cindy, while I was in the club, there was a friend of mine that was there, dude that I know. He's a supporter, good dude, you know what I mean? But Cindy, he had too much of the brown liquor, too much of the brown liquor. He was walking around the club. Uh, it wasn't being annoying, but just talking. And then when the liquor kicked in, now he's whispering in everybody's ear, and like just the breath and the freaking spitting, and I'm like, bro, stay away from me, man. It was a
That's
weird
hilarious.
situation when you guys, have you ever been around somebody in the club and they get a little bit too much to drink? They're not doing anything wrong, just a little talkative, a little touchy, uh, just a little annoying, but they good because they don't usually act this way without the drinks. And City, there was one point I said to him, I said, listen, I love you to death, but you gotta stand over there because I gotta go on stage. I can't focus with you, back and forth with the talking. City, have you ever been in a situation before we start the show where night out with the girls or dudes or whatever, and that one person, a little bit too much to drink. They're just a little annoying, but a lot of you all right, man? Everything, you good? You want another drink? All that kind of spitting kind of thing. And I said to myself, damn, he's gonna get everybody in here sick.
That's
Uh,
hilarious.
let's calm down, everybody. If you're doing too much, if you're drinking too much, just go over to the corner. That's what I used to do when I used to drink. When I got drunk, I would either go in the corner, isolate myself because I know how I act, or I always had a strong desire to drive a car. Uh, so please be careful out there in those streets. If you get too much to drink, and if someone tells you that you're drinking a little bit too much, don't get offended by it. It's just love. It's just we're concerned because a lot of times when we're in that alcoholic state, we find it offensive when someone shares that information with us, but we're just sharing it with love. Cindy, before we start the show, welcome to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show feature wake up team with the Queen, SennyJ, and the Queen, Miss Miko. Welcome to everyone in the chat room. Cindy, have you ever been in a position where you had to tell a friend that, hey, maybe calm down a little bit, drink a little bit too much, there's a lot going on? Or has anyone ever shared that with you? Because I know it's been shared with me, where I've had too much to drink back in my drinking days, and folks came running over to me like, yo, you got to chill. Have you ever been in that situation, or have you ever shared your concerns with your fellow drinking buddies on Wake the F Up Mondays?
Not really. Like everybody that I've been around, like we're all trying to be like that. So nobody's ever like, you've had a little too much. Nah, like we're like, how can we catch up to you? What were you mixing together? You had a vodka, right? And some gin and the Henny on top? Okay. Let me get one of those. I'm not like, and I kind of hate that for people that go out. Like, I guess I understand. I guess like where you're with mixed company, it can be annoying, but if you're going out with people, you should know who you're going out with and what's about to happen. So, I've never really had anybody say that to me. If they did, I don't remember, regardless. So I think it's just kind of useless to try and tame a drunk person. Like,
let the
night happen. Like, what are y'all trying to do for real?
Yeah, exactly.
If you wanted to stop this, you should have started in the beginning of the night.
Right. But I think you're not a real drinker, I think. And this comes from somebody that's sober. You already know my drinker history. I can't do it. But I think that you're not a real drinker unless somebody shares with you, hey, well, I think you're drinking a little bit too much, bro. You got to calm the fuck down. I think when you get to that level, when someone shares that with you, then I think that's when you're a cold straight drinker. When somebody goes, yo, you know what you did last night? All right, listen. Those are the best. You think so?
Yeah, when somebody's like, remember last night when you got up on the bar and da-da-da-da. I mean, when people are in the morning, they don't remember. They're like, oh, shouldn't be getting blacked out, but it's fun. People use liquor to like relax, to not have all those, inhibitions. If I wanted to act like this, if I wanted to act regular like y'all, I'd be drinking juice. Like the hell?
Right? Yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, what's the point of drinking liquor if not to wild out? Like, I don't understand what's really the point of it. Taste. See, it doesn't taste good. So what are you drinking it for?
Exactly. Like you are a true alcoholic like myself. The only difference between you and I is that I don't drink and you do. Because that's what I always thought. It always totally made sense to me. Welcome to Wake the F Up Monday, Shawn Harvey Morning Show feature wake up team with the Queen, SennyJ, and the Queen, Miss Miko. Why waste time with a glass of wine? People, those wine drinkers, or take a shot or two here and there. You're wasting your time. Let's turn up.
Seriously, that's what pre-gaming is for.
All right, welcome to the show. So we got a special guest, Sharon Barnes from the Heart Foundation. She'll be calling. She'll be in a video chat at about 8:30, 8:35. So we're excited to, interview her. And every time she calls in, it's just a great, interesting topic that we talk about. Kareem Williams, thank you so much. Sending the show on Thursday. It'd be Toxic Talk Thursday. So we are switching this around. Thanks to all our listeners, and we truly appreciate it. So now on the the F Up Monday, we're gonna go into our first story with the Queen, SennyJ. She's the S to the E double NY, and you can't deny front page news, y'all. Front page news, y'all. Cindy, what's going on Wake the F Up Monday?
Good morning. Yes, I got some stuff here for you guys on the Wake the F Up Monday. Did anybody watch the Wendy Williams special that was going on this weekend? I don't know if it was released last night or the night before. I haven't been able to watch it, unfortunately, so I've just been seeing clips online about it. They are saying there seems to be a disconnect of why management is taking care of Wendy instead of her son. There was some reports that her son was not caring for her the way that he needed to, by lieu of spending over $100,000 on Uber Eats, having a party that cost over $120,000. However, her son does say that when he was taking care of her, he was, she had a vegan diet. She wasn't drinking alcohol. She was exercising, cooking for herself, actually was able to gain a little bit of weight, 20 to 30 pounds. And then she was subpoenaed by New York to come back up to New York to tend to things that were dealing with her show and her business. And now she is being, it seems to be she's being handled by by her management team. Her family can't seem to get a hold of her. And a lot of people had a lot of mixed feelings. I mean, it's kind of weird because it doesn't seem like there's a point to this documentary. It's just showing her in her new state. A lot of people had, a lot of Wendy's fans had a real problem with them showing her without her wig on. That's something that's very close to Wendy, like her appearance and how people perceive her. And it just seems real exploitive at this moment in time, instead of I guess uplifting or showing that she's getting better. It's just digging her more into like the fall from grace category. So a lot of people have a lot of mixed reviews about it. Part of me wants to see it and a part of me doesn't. I wasn't really a big fan of Wendy Williams, but I do respect her craft and how far she's come to create the platform that she has. So to see her kind of like this is kind of like, it's a sad story, especially for, again, Black people. Bruce Willis is going through aphasia, a form of dementia. His family, they don't even post him. They post him on happy times, holidays. He does look out of it, but he looks like he's just chilling with his family, and they write for him. There's no messages coming from Bruce or anything, or any type of, big social media presence. I believe Barbara Walters, she's been going through some form of dementia. You don't see her family putting her out there, looking all crazy, bringing up her glory days when she was such a great reporter. So it just kind of seems so sad that we have this Black woman who created, basically something out of nothing, basically created gossip in mainstream media. And they have her legacy going out down bad, over a man. Like, it's just...
Welcome to... Wake the F Up Monday, Shawn Harvey Morning Show. Wake up team, Queen SennyJ, Queen Miss Miko. We are in the building right now. Wake up, everybody.
Put a one in the chat room if you've seen the Wendy Williams, the new documentary.
I haven't seen it all, but I've seen some of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a sad case? Yes. I think this could be a new realm for Wendy Williams, where she can be on, have a season or two and a few episodes each season on Lifetime. This was very captivating and very interesting. The first thing I got, and remember, y'all know how I used to feel about
Have
Wendy
what
Williams.
up? Have what kind of show with her like this, Shawn?
I'll share.
Yeah, please do. Please
Wendy
expound
Williams
on
right
that.
now. Wendy Williams right now doesn't even have the mental capability of doing a podcast or a live television show. The woman, unfortunately, is losing her mind, and I say that respectively. And she got this weird disease on both her foot, SennyJ, on her feet. It looked like she got the
She
elephant.
she has Graves' disease. That's why her eyes are bulging,
No,
and
but
that's
Cindy, you
why
got to see
she
her.
has. Yes,
her
it's a disease that affects your body like that. That's why there's so much swelling in her lower extremities. It's all part
Cindy,
of Graves' disease.
She got elephant toes right now. Crazy. And they showed it on this documentary. But the problem that I'm having is, boy, Wendy Williams, even in this state of mind, boy, she's very rude to the people that's working for her. But then again, I get it because people are around her getting paid. Her family, the banks seized her money because of her family. She gave power attorney to her son. Like you said, this dude ordered $100,000 worth of Uber Eats, $150,000 party, $80,000 month apartment in Miami. They shut all this down. This is definitely a sad story for Wendy Williams. This is,
So
I'm not gonna blame it. I'm not gonna blame it. Cindy says she blamed all this over a man. I kind of disagree with that. Yes, it was shocking and disappointing what happened. Her breakup with her husband, and he had the other woman. They had a child with each other. He had a child while he was married to this woman. That happens almost every day in this country to in the African American community, in the white community, black. That happens all the time, but you don't see a lot of women out there losing their minds over it. I think that this is some illness that was just embedded in her. And yes, and all that did have a trickle down effect. Her, mom dying, the husband, of course. But I think there was something deeper wrong with this woman, and mentally and physically, that she is just sick. There is no way in hell that this woman could perform anything at this point. But to prop her up on television like this, it's a money move. It's a money play by the people that are managing her. So Wendy Williams, as we know it, is not going to be. That's history. Moving forward, for monies to come in, I think that maybe yes, they should keep broadcasting these episodes because everyone's watching it and everybody's talking about it. But I'm gonna give Wendy Williams a pass because she is so rude to these people that I think that is her mental illness. Because sometimes people get sick and they rude to the people that take care of them. And I think that this is the case with Wendy Williams. Uh, it's sad, uh, but I had to say this, it's very entertaining to watch Wendy Williams and watch this episode. Put, like Cindy said, and watch this series. Put a number one chat room if you are watching the Wendy Williams. Where is Wendy series? Put a number two if you're not. Put a number three if you don't care. But this is very interesting with Wendy Williams, and I'm sad that this woman has fallen from grace and basically losing her mind. Sherry Shepherd was the right play. The executives moved on, and that's what the reality is. Her family is trying to take all her money. Wells Fargo shut it down. Now, a lot of times we always like the whole Britney Spears situation when we were all for Britney, and then they released Britney her money, and she still done lost her mind. So,
but at the end of the day, it's their money. Like if somebody is, they say, like, of not of right mind, and whatever the case is, then they should just be not a right mind. Like, that doesn't give you, because at the end of the day, who's the one that's keeping track of the money or even making sure that the money is going to her best interest? Not the bank. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
the bank only wants to take care of the money because they're using the money for other things. They're not looking out for her best interest. They just want to make sure that the money that they're using to invest in stocks and other stuff like that stays in there. And if there's a way that they can do that, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, well, hold on.
Her son staying in that condo, she's the one that paid for that condo for him when he was when she was in her right mind. So if he wants to continue living there, or she was paying for him to live there, he should still be living there. I don't think it should be looked at as, millionaires spend money differently. We don't know how much these people are spending on Uber Eats, plus the fact that they don't go out anywhere. He's continuously keeping her in the house. So the Uber Eats bill might be a little high. Like, you know what I'm saying? So people need to look at it in a different lens. Of course, a regular person making $50,000, $60,000 a year is not going to be spending $100,000 on Uber Eats, but somebody who's bringing in $10 million a year might.
Okay.
So different.
Welcome to the
Sharon,
show.
girl, what's going on?
Sharon, say something. Sharon, could you just say something so we know we can hear you?
Somebody over there ordered me some Uber Eats.
Right.
I'm hungry.
Okay. Can I get on the list? Can I get on the list?
All right, hold on a second. All right, everybody see Sharon, and we're going to get into the whole situation with Sharon. Senny, you're right. But then again, you're not. Yes, these banks take the money. I don't care if you got $20 in the bank or $20 million. They're going to take that money and they're going to try to flip it. That's what banks do. I understand that. But what we don't realize is that it's like social media. You're on a whole different platform that you don't own. Once you give the bank your money, we sign these papers. When you open up a bank account, we sign all these papers. We give the bank consent to do whatever we want them to do with our money. And we never read these things. So we give them the money. The bank has the power also not to give you back your money via a court or a court decision. Via the government could go to the bank and say, shut everything down. And you can't get your money. Now, this situation, and I don't care how much money it is, $100,000 in Uber Eats. I don't care how rich you are.
But over the course of what time? They just throw that out there.
It was like a year.
She's been under this conservatorship for a long time.
Senny, it was like an 18-month situation that this dude was ordering.
And if you're ordering out breakfast, lunch, and dinner, then what do you calculate that? I order lunch off of Uber Eats. That joint legit comes out to over $45 every single time.
Senny, he used her American Express card so much they shut it down.
But that's because they're being opportunistic. That is why.
Senny, she gave a 21, and we're going to listen. I want to hear Sharon's thoughts on this as well. She gave power of attorney to a 21-year, and no disrespect to him. Because you could be at any age and have the maturity level to make some kind of decisions. I do believe that. But Senny, at 21 years old, with the power of attorney of over $20 to $100 million, this young man lost his mind where the banks, American Express, and other financial institutions shut him down, not only denied him, told him he couldn't even do any more business because you can't be the power of attorney, but you still, it's your mother and you're still spending her money. Sharon,
there are plenty of power of attorneys that live off of the people that they're taking care of all the time.
True.
And so that's true. And if Wendy were in her right mind and she were to be dying today, she would literally say, leave everything to my son. She has not stopped talking about that son since forever. She loves her son. She says everything I do has been for my son. So whether they like to say whatever they want to say, if she were to die today, she would want her son to have it and do it as he pleases. That's right.
Senny, if I was to die today, I don't want my son having nothing if he gonna spend $125,000 on Uber Eats. Sharon, let's clap for Sharon. Come on, Sharon.
Hey, Sharon.
Hey, good
Sharon,
morning.
before we get into your movement, what's your whole thought about Wendy Williams, the banks, the son, and everybody around her that's trying to take all her money?
Well, first, we'll pray for Wendy, definitely, because she is sick. And, my aunt suffers with Alzheimer's and dementia. She doesn't have millions, but everything is her daughters have control of it. And it's like all of us, we give, well, majority of us, except for Shawn, is going to give control and give to your children, which I believe you should do. Now, he's probably order Uber Eats for his friends and so forth and so on, because he thinks mommy's going to turn around and she's going to be okay, blah, blah, blah. But if she worked for him. We work for our children. That's who we are as Black folks. We work for our kids. We always say that. Well, when I leave, or we even get insurance policies so that way they can be covered. They can have money after we die. So she's giving all of that to him. However he decides to spend it, it's like Michael Jackson. Look at all that trillions he left for his kids. However they decide to spend it, that's how they decide to spend it. Shawn, if you left me $250 million and I spent it on nothing, it's my choice. I'll be broke at the end of the year. You'll be dead. And there you go. That's why they have attorneys. That is why there are attorneys. Now, some attorney is going to get in contact with them and then they'll take control of how the bank, because he doesn't have anybody, he probably doesn't have an attorney yet. He'll probably have one or has one now knocking on his door. So that way they can tell him how to divvy out the money. Now, at 21 years old, come on, Shawn, when you was 21 years old, come on. You was eating that. You was eating that beefsteak Charlie's at 21, doing good. Well, you needed to be at White Castle. So we all did,
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. But when I was going to Beefsteak Charlie back in the day when I was 21, I didn't have my mother and father didn't have $14,000 billion. So
they had $1,400 and you spent within your capacity.
Listen, this to me,
clearly.
All right, you're right. This to me,
okay.
This
thought
to
about
me,
that, yeah.
This whole situation to me is, I hate to say, is this folks, vultures around the little carcass, trying to get what they can get. And the financial institutions was like, we're not dealing with this. Listen, Auntie going to the bank talking about, I'm Wendy Williams' aunt. I need about $300,000. No, we're not. No, Dad, everybody. No, you can't. No, the banks are stopping all of that. So,
You're right. Now, Shawn, you're right. You have some, I think you both are right, because there's two sides to this whole thing. Look, we don't have millions and trillions. Let me die. My family, they're going to be fighting for the fur coats, the diamond rings, the $125 that's in the account, the $25 that's in the in the zip card account. They're fighting, they're going to fight off. And yes, there are people that are going to come up and say, oh, me and your sister, we was real good friends. She owed me $500.
Right.
So what I did, and what I think people should do, right? So I gave my husband, my kids, all of my banking information. They have all of my PIN numbers. Don't wait for the bank to give you my money. Go to the bank, take that card, slip it in the machine, take the money out. Don't tell nobody I'm dead yet. Just get all the money out first. And then you leave $1 in each account. Let the banks fight over that, because that's what banks do. When you sign that paper and you make the account, Shawn, like your account just says Shawn Harvey on it. It doesn't say you, the kids. And we don't add them on there because we think we're going to live forever. I added my husband on. I added my kids on. Just in case he goes before me, I got backup. And then I ran down with all the kids. All of them are on there. If all of them go before me, I got my sister down on there. I don't want the banks to get my money. Now, my $5 is my $5. Okay?
Well, let's give a round of applause for Sharon Bond's family. That's a unique family over there.
They're gonna be unique.
Look at City. Hell no, I'm not giving these kids these bank account information. Oh, hell no.
No, I would. I think
you can't do anything without the card. You can't do anything without the card.
If I'm not right, Who else but my children? That's the only reason I'm doing any of this. Otherwise, believe me, I'd be in a box somewhere, laying my ass down.
Yeah. My sister said, do a living will. I did a living will.
Right.
I will. You guys have these bank card numbers. You go. I told my husband, you go to the bank first. If you destroy it, Jackie, you go. If you destroy it, like somebody go to the bank and you just divvy it out. Don't let nobody know I'm dead yet until you get the money out. Because as soon as any government finds out that you're deceased, they lock up everything that you have that they can get their hands on.
All right.
Now,
Well, listen.
They'll give it back. Look, they give it back. They give it back.
They make you jump through hoops.
Yes. My nephew was like, oh, I can't get into my father's safety deposit box. Yeah, okay. He didn't leave no instructions. He said, I got a box and it got some stuff in it.
All right. Well, listen, guys. Here goes some great information. Before you check out, make sure the family take all the money out the bank. And guys in the chat room, who you leaving who you giving the passwords to? The wife, the kids, the cousin, auntie, or your moms. Wife, kids, cousins, auntie, or mom. Who are you giving the money to? The passwords to access your accounts. Mom, dad, kids, auntie, cousin.
Give it to the trusted kid. Give it to the smart kid. Don't give it to the kid that you know and I know that it's not bright. Give it to the kid that's smart. Because the one that's smart is the one that's going to do the correct math. That one that ain't smart, he divvied it out, he gonna call Uber Eats. And by the way, did y'all ever check out Uber? Them Uber Eat prices are crazy. Those prices are ridiculous.
Why I say, every time I order from them, it's at least $50 every time I order. I don't care what it is.
A Big Mac, listen, a Big Mac is $9 if I go and pick it up. If I order on Uber Eats, the Big Mac is $15. That's not including the we delivered it charge, the service fee. What? I'm paying you an extra $5? Yeah, well, be careful with that Uber Eats.
Well, you know what? Shout out to both of you because I'm still old school. No disrespect. I do use these apps every once in a while, but I'm going to pick up my food. I can't. It's just too much. The extra $15, especially if the restaurant is right down the block. I'm going to go pick up the food. So a lot of us are sitting here, discussing prices with Uber Eats, but you got those fingers on that phone and you're ready to place my order. That's the problem.
And that guy that's bringing you your food. Store. You ever seen those delivery guys? What they look like? Those guys delivering your food?
No, what? No, the delivery guys that I see out here where I live, Sharon, they're getting money out here. The delivery guys are pulling up, and women are pulling up in cars better than the cars that the rest of us are driving. That's why there's a liability of people, cooks. There's no more cooks no more. There's always a shortage of cooks because the cooks stopped cooking and they went out and started delivering the food.
Yeah,
there's more money in the delivery.
Those guys got to be eating some of your food on the way, bringing it to you. Because you ever notice how you get the stack like that, but now you get it delivered, it's down here like this? Like, do you ever notice that your burger wrap be a little bit like unfoiled, look like they opened it up a couple of times? You ever notice? Look, I've gotten my food. I'm like, now I know I ordered cheese. Nigga done took my slice of cheese off.
That's hilarious.
No, my bags come like stapled up. I don't know where you guys are ordering from. My bags are always stapled up or wrapped up. Even the drinks.
The driver is stapling and wrapping up. That's the driver. You don't think they got staple guns in their cars? They got those little stickers. They got the roller. Put it back on there.
Well, I've never had a problem.
Cindy, Sharon is traumatized. Where she's located. There's a lot going on over there with food deliveries comparison to where we're at out here. Saying. She's in the jungle. She's in the Big Apple. Anything goes. It's a dude with a skateboard driving, getting her food. It's a lot going on over there.
They just put my food on the floor at the door. They don't knock on the door like your food was delivered, and that's it. Yeah. One guy texted me back and said, yo, you ain't going to give me a tip? He said, yo, you ain't going to give me a tip. Because, on a thing you could put the tip in?
Yeah.
I said, I did. I gave it to you. I don't see it. Keep looking, bro. Keep looking.
That's
But
hilarious.
Well, guys,
anyway, let's start cooking our own food to stop all this delivery and eating this bad stuff from outside, out of the streets. If we're not
well,
actually going into the restaurant, controlling how we get our food, we've gotten lazy. We really have, and we got to step that back up and start moving about because that changes things.
no doubt. Okay, welcome to the show. Wendy Gonzalez is in the chat room. Today is officially Wake the F Up Mondays. Let's clap for that right now. Come on, let's go. Cindy,
Yes,
Cindy,
Wendy.
we're going to go into, Cindy, if you don't mind, we're going to go into one more story and then we'll talk to our special guest, who we all love, that's in the chat room right now, Sharon Braun. So, Cindy, what's your next story? And then we'll talk to our beloved, if you don't mind.
Yeah, where did I
You
put
looking
my
for the
phone?
story?
No, I am. I don't know what I
She
do with my
looking,
phone.
she looking for, she
Um,
looking for Uber Eats delivery.
I know, and I don't know. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I was looking for the story, Sharon, because I didn't have my phone. I don't know where the hell that thing was. The next story that I have is Matt Barnes. He was dropped as Sacramento Kings analyst. This is a few weeks after an incident that he had at a Crespi High game where his twin sons are actually players for the team. Matt Barnes was reportedly dropped as a Sacramento Kings studio analyst by NBC Sports California nearly 3 weeks after he yelled at officials and confronted a student broadcaster from Studio City's Harvard Westlake School during a high school boys basketball game. He became irate after an official called a technical foul on one of his twin sons who play for Encino Crespi. There was a video posted to social media where Barnes is putting his hand on the shoulder of a Harvard Westlake student. His name is Jake Lancer.
Can you close that door? I'm interviewing.
Who was broadcasting the game. Barnes and Lancer exchanged words before adults intervened. Barnes no longer will serve as a Kings analyst, a job that he's actually had for 3 years. He played 14 seasons in the NBA, including 2 with the Lakers, 4 with the Clippers, and nearly 2 with the Kings. When he was asked about, his involvement with this, he said, "I've yelled at the refs my entire college career. I was just yelling at the refs. I coach AAU in the summertime. I have high school boys, and I have a 5-year-old coming down the pipeline. So I'm going to be doing a lot of yelling at the refs. This particular incident, I will say my one mistake was putting my hand on Jake's shoulder. A lot of people want to say I grabbed this kid or I did this." He said, "I literally put my hand on this kid's shoulder because it was almost like I was talking to my son. So he and I had a little back and forth, and obviously for touching him, I was wrong. But I just didn't like the disrespect that came with the entitlement where they felt like they could say anything to me." Where I feel like you felt a little entitled because you felt like you can put your hand on somebody to stop them from announcing what they felt they wanted to say. Now, people are saying he's saying that the people said that Jake Lancer, the student journalist that was announcing the game, was telling Matt Barnes to shut up, but he said, "I never said that." He was just, announcing on the game. I don't know. But I feel like, parents that do that, especially if you play or if you've played the game, I just feel like it's so performative and nobody really needs that. Like, you're supposed to be there. I mean, it's okay to be excited about the game. You're in it because your kids are in it. But I feel like Matt Barnes, you're really doing a lot. There's already a lot of eyes on him regardless, because I believe the coach for Encino Crespi and is Derek Fisher, and him and he's married to, I believe, Matt Barnes' ex-wife.
Right.
So it's just a lot of
Okay.
internal drama.
All right. Welcome to the show. Any place on earth where you get your morning started right. It is Wake the F Up Mondays. We truly appreciate you with the Queen SennyJ, the Queen Miss Miko, who's not available, who will be back very soon, and our special guest this morning, Sharon Barnes, and we appreciate you. Thanks for sharing this story.
Definitely.
Uh, and it's an interesting story. It reads like, what? So, what do we care about this? And I'll tell you what it is. Matt Barnes, who again, very privileged NBA player, very popular on social media, made the fatal mistake of putting his hand on a Babylonian teenager. You can't do that. I don't care how privileged you are. I don't care how long you played in the NBA and you yelling at folks, which cost you your job as a commentator for the Sacramento Kings, which, by the way, they put you in the Sacramento Basketball Hall of Fame last week, and you acting up like this at a game with your son. This is why a lot of these parents don't need to attend these games, because they're so emotional, they're so self-centered, and a dab of narcissism. But the intriguing part about this is Derek Fisher, who, by the way, is married to your baby mother that caused the uproar years back, is the coach of the other team. And you're not even speaking to each other. So your twin boys are playing for your baby mother's husband. You're not speaking to each other. You're acting like a fool in this privileged high school that all you guys go to out there, because everybody's so rich, and you put your hands on a teenager that's the basketball commentator and call them all out his names. And you think that you was going to go to work the next day to commentate Sacramento Kings basketball. You're out of your mind, and you deserve to get fired. You don't never. One thing a black man can't do is put his hand on a privileged Babylonian in public. You can put your hands on them with nobody seeing it. I'm not mad at you, but you dare not do this. And then you interrupted the game several times. Bro, who are you? You're embarrassing your child. Derek Fisher's over there on the sideline texting his wife, your baby father bugging again. And now you lost your job. So this is a trifecta here, Sharon Barnes, before we move on. Here's the first thing. The overprivilege of you being an NBA star, you acting like you're out of your mind because your son is playing and you're protesting every call, and you put your hands on a Babylonian. That's a technical foul.
Listen, first of all, he shouldn't have lost his job. That's one. Okay, because now the other side, the child support gets affected. Okay, but we'll get back to that later. Now, yeah, like you're affecting family balance. Now, he's being a parent and he's being a coach. Forget about just not forget about it, but just hold on about his job. That's what he does. When you watch TNT, you see Shaq and what's the other guy's name with the green eyes? You see the stuff that they do on the stage, Charles Barkley, the fighting, the name calling, the disrespect stuff that they say about the players. They're not losing their job. Now, AAU basketball is psychotic. These parents are crazy. It starts from down here where I'm at, all the way up there to where they're at. Okay. But then all in all, it's all the same. I don't think he should have lost his job. I think that he should have been able to come back to work and then they talk about it on the show and let him apologize, or let some of the analysts say, hey, bro, you could handle this a different way, blah, 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 blah. Because what's the tool out of this? He's not learning anything. He's still a parent. At the end of the day, he's still a parent. At the beginning of the day, he's still a parent. And parents are psychotic with this basketball. So I'm in basketball. These parents think that their kids are going to the NBA. The little tyke is 7. He's not going. He don't even know how to spell N.
Right.
He's going nowhere. And the parents are just, oh, my son is and everybody thinks that their child is going. I used to think like that too, until my daughter didn't go, but I don't think he should have lost his job. Parents are psychotic. They are. There are people that sit in the stand right next to you and they'll talk about a player on the court and don't know that that's your stepson. Have no idea. Like, he's a bum. And then the parents are fighting, Now, whether he's a Babylonian, a Slabylonian, or a Balonian, It doesn't make a difference because if it would have been, so you saying, Shawn, if it had been one of us and he put his hand on him, he would still have his job?
No, he shouldn't have it. If it was one of
No, I'm
us,
saying,
no,
would
he
you think
still
that
should get fired.
not still, but do you think he would still have his job? Do you think the networks would have fired him if he would have put his hands on his own
This is
folks?
gonna be a naive answer, but I'm gonna say yes. It was too public on what he did. It was very visual, and I think
Did
that
he
the
shake him?
networks would.
Did he rattle him? Did he beat him?
Nah,
No,
he
Or he
he
just
took.
just.
put
He
his
gave.
hand on
I
him?
have a
Yeah, he
clip of
gave him
it.
the hard. He gave him the hand on the shoulder neck combo. SennyJ, let me
Then
ask you
all of
this
the
question.
coaches, right now that are coaching high school in the state of New York, in the state of Alabama, wherever, then they all get fired because they all do it. Do you hear how they talk to these kids? Do you hear the cussing that goes on? I
I
can't
have
go to the
a
games.
Yeah, I have a clip here. It doesn't look like it was too serious,
Cindy, should
Just
but
he
I just
should
regular.
he lose his
it,
job?
no. But should he be banned from games? I would ban him from the games, from the high school games, because it seems like this is his normal behavior.
If that's his normal behavior and everybody knows it, let's see. Let's get a look.
He goes over there, but Sharon,
He lost his
he
job for
got
that? Then Shawn, you're gonna
Cindy.
get fired.
Uh,
Because I've
uh,
seen you on stage do worse.
That's funny. Sharon, he did this throughout the game. See, he becomes
It's
the center
But
of attraction.
That's his coaching style.
He's
That is
not the
his
coach.
coaching style.
he's not the
He's
coach
not the
though.
coach. He's not the
I'm saying,
coach.
what is
He's
he?
sitting there watching
Why
the
is he on the
game.
court?
He's just a parent. That's
He's
why.
He's
just a
just a
spectator.
parent.
Okay, don't lose your
See,
job. Kick him out of the gym.
Yeah,
see,
that's what I said. He should be
Sharon,
banned
and then
from
we're
the
gonna,
He
games.
got fired for being a parent.
yeah, that's funny. We're gonna hear Cindy's thought in a minute. But see, here's what make it worse. Basketball is your life, obviously for him. You as a kid you played basketball. You were successful in high school. You were successful in college. You became an NBA player. Now you're an analyst. You should be the most behaved person in the building. You around this. You know the code of conduct.
But they're the
There's no
worst.
excuse for him. I could see the other parents losing their minds. I understand that. But this is your bread and butter, bro. You know better. And you embarrassing your son?
But he was being a parent when this happened. And so you're mixing the two up. He wasn't being an analyst. He was being a parent when that happened. So then that means you got to fire all the parents because the father of that son should have came out of the stands and said, yo, bro, get your hand off my son. But that didn't happen because that parent probably was okay with it. But there was parents being parents. He was a parent. He got fired for being a parent. He wasn't analyzing the game. He wasn't working. He shouldn't have been fired. Now, if you'd have said a racial slur, yeah, okay. Let's fire him because the networks, we can't have you. But now you can't work for us because you did parent stuff.
Cindy, what's your thoughts before we move on?
I mean,
You don't
I
wanna mess
just
with
think
me.
it was a little egregious to fire him from there, but I think that he should definitely be banned from the games. I think all parents should be banned from games when they don't know how to act and you don't know how to sit down and you think you're the coach and you run into sidelines telling your kid what to do and you're doing too much. If you can't sit down and spectate with everybody else, you have to go. Period.
Well,
If somebody doesn't know, it's clearly he's at the practices and he's being a coach at those practices. Somebody's going to bring up the video and they're going to show him at practice games coaching and doing all this stuff and putting his hands on other kids and what he normally does. They'll show it. They ain't showing it now, but they will because he's
well,
just
I
being
tell
a
you
parent.
what, I tell you what, Matt Barnes, you won't be flying to Sacramento to their next basketball game to be a commentator. That's not going to happen because you played yourself, sir. Because you can't have it both ways. You can't be sitting up there being a coach, a parent, and a commentator when there's 16,000 other men and women qualified for that job waiting for somebody to mess up. And you did, sir. You're still a millionaire. You're going to be fine. But you're not going to talk about Sacramento basketball when you put your hands on a privileged teenage Babylonian. Bottom line. And that's what
So
happened.
you know he's going to make money from Now all of the shows are going to have him come in and interview on their show and ask him how he felt about it. Somebody else will hire him, but they don't ask him how he felt about it, and they'll get other people's opinions and thoughts and all that other good stuff.
Word.
And Sharon, you bring up another point. And say, well, again, he's a millionaire, so it doesn't matter. There's child support issues. You got to take it easy.
Ooh.
But men and women, you can't get too crazy at your job talking about regular folks. Remember, you have a huge responsibility in paying your child support. Keep your jobs. Don't act like an idiot and lose your job, because that's not going to be a good look.
You can't do anything
Cindy,
now. You can't do anything. What happened with Cam Newton? Cindy, you don't have that? Cindy, you don't have the Cam Newton joint?
I don't really follow sports like that, but why? What happened with him? Tell us.
What happened with Cam?
Look, Cam Newton got jumped, but honey, Cam Newton was slinging them folks like ass. Sling.
Who did he get jumped by?
5 people jumped. So they had the 7-on-7 type of some football camp or whatever have you. And next thing you know, you see these guys jump on Cam. That was what you saw, but the results, somebody must forgot who Cam Newton was. Cam Newton was shooting them off him like the people. And what was funny was, Shawn, you're going to appreciate this when you see the clip. He wears that hat on with his hair coming out through the top.
Yeah.
The hat never moved. Everybody's talking about how the hat never budged. You gotta look up the Cam Newton. Cam Newton got jumped. And so somebody made a comment. This is why a lot of people don't like to go back to their homes and, whatever, this, that, and the third of what they like to do. And Cam Newton handled his business. I was impressed. I was like, Cam, I got a new respect for you.
Yeah,
Shawn, please look that up. Cam
is a big guy. Let me see.
Well, you know what? Yeah, Cam Newton's a big dude. Yeah,
them
Cam
5 guys thought that they was
right. Cam Newton is a big dude, but see, a lot of people, and thanks for sharing that with us, Sharon. But a lot of people think that when people dress a certain way, because he's also known for his stylish fashion. And sometimes he be wearing a lot of weird clothing. So some people or men has the make them fatal mistake that think he might be some type of punk, which obviously you prove that he's not. And Cam, let's salute him, because he whooped some ass with some tight yellow jeans on, and his hair picture didn't move.
Cam had this guy by his backpack, and when I tell you did not let him go, came off of the stage, slung him, and had another guy in a headlock. He had one guy in a headlock this way, had this one with the backpack. Now the man ain't got but 2 arms, but you'd have thought that, that commercial with the guy with the lobster arms? You'd have thought that's what Cam was doing, because Cam handled, and I loved it, that how Cam handled his business. Some young punk went up to try to get a swing on him and missed. You could see Cam let the other guy go so he can get this one, and then all of a sudden security came. I'm really not sure. I'd fire that security. If that was the security, they're all fired. All right. Because they should have never been able to get that close to him.
Well, welcome to the show, guys. Only place on earth where you get your morning star right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show feature Wake Up Team with the Queen, SennyJ, and the Queen, Miss Miko. Our special guest this morning is Sharon Barnes. So please wake the F up Monday. We are here and we are excited. Now, Cindy, February is Heart Health Month. Let's clap for that. Let's clap for that.
Woo, for our heart.
Yes.
And a lot of people, we are, but there are folks that honestly are not even aware that February is Heart Health Month. And that's why we have our beloved Sharon Barnes here, who's a part of the whole movement. So we want to talk to Sharon. First of all, how are you feel? Let's clap for Sharon Barnes. I know she's here, but let's clap for her.
Yay, Sharon.
Sharon, first of all, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I feel spectacular. The fact that I just made 60 in December and the heart is doing great. I feel spectacular. I can't even ask for anything more.
That's amazing.
How did first of all, Cindy, why is February? I always wanted to ask this question to Sharon. Why is February Heart Health Month? What's February and Heart Health? I
think because it's the shortest month, and that as African Americans, that's the month that we notice that is shorter. So we're more active in that month. So we should be thankful for that. And then we can talk about how our people, we are the ones that are the largest risk of heart disease. Hispanics and African Americans, we are like, we're up here. Like we get the awards for that. And so at that point, you having Heart Month, um, and then right after that, you have Women's Month and all the rest of the months. But this is where they decided to squeeze us in. But guess what? More African Americans are aware of the month of February than any other year on the calendar. And that's because it's a short month, not because it's only because it has 28 days. You ask people like, what do you like about February? Oh, it's 28 days. That's the first thing they're going to say is, why is it only 28 days? Except for leap year. That don't count. But anyway.
Now, Cindy, when I met Sharon Hart at a comedy show that she was producing, right? And the New York King Talent, myself and a few others were doing the show. And I walk in, I go, T, what's this about? He said, yeah, the organizer, man, she had a heart attack, and most of these people in here are doctors and people who had heart attack.
Right.
And Cindy, I've never been around a bunch of folks in one place at the same time that all suffer from heart attacks.
Oh my God.
Sharon, share your journey, if you don't mind, with having your heart attack, but then more importantly, like how did you your recovery, and how did you get involved with just this whole movement?
Well, you know what? It was I was 47 years old when I had the heart attack. And one of the things about having a heart attack is, we hear about it, we don't pay attention to it. So you don't know what it is when you get it. You have no idea that you're having one. And so after I had the heart attack, I was shook up. I was like, hey, why did I have one? Like, what's going on? I got 8 sisters and brothers. I didn't jump all over them and get me, and I was like, how do you find out what was this? Because I'm talking to the doctors, and the doctors are talking to you, but you're just saying, okay, yeah, okay, like what do I have to do? And so what I did was I started doing research. So I got on the computer and kind of just Googled what I have, which is called hypotropic cardiomyopathy. And I Googled it, like, how did I get this? And where did it come from? And, I found out that it was all through genetics, genes and all that stuff. And I said, how do I prevent myself from having another one? And then I logged on to American Heart Association. We see that commercial on TV all the time. And a lot of us get up and go to the bathroom, go get something to eat, whatever, we walk away. Because we believe in the Black and brown community that heart attacks are for old white people. That's how I thought. I mean, there are people who still think like that, I mean, every once in a while, my brain wants to believe that, but it's not. It's for everybody. Because the youngest person to have ever had a heart attack and died was 5 years old. Like a 5-year-old having a heart attack. What does that look like? So right. After doing my research and volunteering with American Heart Association, I also linked on to the Association of Black Cardiologists, which is an organization that really has tons and tons of Black cardiologists. We see cardiologists normally, what do you call them? Babylonians? Shawn?
Yeah, Babylonians.
Right, yes.
Normally they're Babylonians. I call them the others. Normally they're the others. And that's all that we see. And they're treating us like as if we're them, but we're not. So to know that there are Black cardiologists that are available, one of my dear colleagues, Dr. Isilma Fergus, who's over at Mount Sinai Hospital, I met her and just started volunteering and just getting in the movement to see what's going on. And at all of these movements that I would go to, I wouldn't see us. And I'm trying to figure out why I don't see us. We're the ones that are dying. The reason I don't see us is because we're dead. We didn't make it. But I see the others. They're sharing their stories about what happened to them, who saved their lives, where they were. And it's the Babylonians, it's the others. It's just tons of them. I'm like, but what about us? So I decided to take this situation that I had, and I just called it, this was a tragedy, and I decided to take it and turn it into something that was going to be powerful and meaningful and that would reach us. And so I decided to start my own foundation. So I said, well, American Heart Association can have theirs. The Association of Black Cardiologists can have theirs. Women's Heart can have theirs. Well, why can't Sharon Bond have hers? And so I started the Heart Speaks Foundation.
Right.
So the Heart Speaks Foundation is where it's a platform, easy to read. It's easy. And you don't feel overwhelmed when you go to it, because I found myself being overwhelmed by the other websites when I would go to them, just not knowing where to look. Us folks, we want easy, we want quick. Black folks, we want microwaves. That's what we want. Get
Right.
straight to the point, tell us what it is, keep it moving, keep it pushing. That's just who
Now,
we are by nature.
let me ask you a question. Let
Hmm.
me just say, first of all, I know Black folks love that whole microwave movement, but Sharon, what you didn't know is Cindy don't own a microwave. Uh,
Heard her say that one time.
uh, Sharon, uh,
I mean, they're not good for you.
I know you said a lot of this is genetics and it's in your blood right, and that's definitely true, no question about it. For Black folks? You talked about Blacks and Latinos.
Yes.
So for Black and Latinos and some of the Babylonians, what's the preventive measures, Sharon? I mean, and first of all, like Princess Cox no pause in the chat room, I totally agree. Cindy, Sharon looks absolutely beautiful for 60 years old. Let's clap for that. That's correct. 60
Absolutely.
years.
I'm
At
trying to be
60,
like
my
Sharon
God.
when I get older.
Uh,
Older. Ah.
Yes, girl.
Sharon, what's the
Yeah.
preventive measures of? Is there any preventive measures for heart attacks, for not having a heart attack?
Yeah, there are tons of preventive measures, mainly a healthy diet. And it is true that we do need a healthy diet. How do we achieve that healthy diet? Each one of us as individuals, we know we like to eat, we know we don't like to eat, and we know that we have to manage what we eat. We also need physical activity, not just, but we really need to get out and start walking. We need to get that treadmill.
Were
Because
you
people
giving
see
us
you
the
laughing because
universal
people
sign
really
for
think that.
chest?
People like, oh, I did this right here, and I sweated last night, so I'm good. Mm-mm.
I can't,
No,
Sharon.
you gotta do, you really do. You gotta get out, you gotta walk, you gotta hit the treadmill, get on the bike, do a little running around the track. And if you do it once a week is better than nonce a week. Nonce
Right.
is nothing. Okay. And then you also have to manage your stress. People will say, oh, well, you can't manage stress. Yes, you can. Put your husband out, put your kids out, put the dog out, put the cat out. That's managing stress. Right. And I'm just using that as a forum. So whatever is causing you to stress, put it out. Just put it out. Now you don't have to leave it out, but if you put it out, at least you get to relax and you managing your stress. And you want to avoid smoking cigarettes, hookahs, whatever those other things you guys are smoking. You want to kind of really you want to avoid smoking this stuff, because remember something, you're putting this stuff in your body. Where do you think it's going? It's going in. The first thing that it's meeting is your heart. It meets your heart first. It says, hi, heart, how are you? And it says, and then it flourishes through the rest of your body. I mean, I do make jokes as I'm going up, because I want people to appreciate what I'm saying and understand what I'm saying, because I don't want people to be on here stressed out like, oh my God, but understand that this is true. So you want to be able to do that. And what that happens is it critically reduces the risk of heart disease, because heart disease is the problem. When you have heart disease, it leads to many, many other things. And you want to do regular checkups. You want to check with your healthcare provider, and you want to ask them to just kind of give you some education on heart disease. Do early detection. You want to detect it. You want to find out if you can detect if you have heart disease early. And they're going to ask you questions about your family history. Did your mom have it? Your father have it? Did your aunt? And a lot of us Black folks, and I'm going to call us out, we'll be like, nah, we good. My family, we good. Nah, Uncle Fred just died last month. No, we're not
Well,
good. We're not good,
now,
because we
Sharon,
don't want to be embarrassed.
Sharon, that's funny. We're good. Uh, a show announcement, guys. On Thursday, Cindy, I just sent you his picture. The one and only Rel Holla will be on the panel, SennyJ, this Thursday. Guys, buckle your seatbelts. Rel Holla will be in the building. Now,
Oh
Sharon, I
well,
want to share
yes.
this with you. We talked, we just didn't forget. As soon as as soon as you joined the platform this morning, we talked about Uber Eats and talked about food.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the diet that you're talking about to prevent heart disease is almost, you have to have Bruce Lee type discipline. Now, I want to
Nah.
share this. I want to share this with you. We were smoking hookah last year. I don't smoke hookah. I smoke it every once in a while recreationally. Cindy smokes it every 6 minutes of the day. Now,
I don't smoke hookah. I smoke weed. But go
uh,
ahead.
uh, okay, cool. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sharon,
Yeah,
it's
get it
weed,
right.
not hookah.
Right.
Now, Sharon, I want to share a story with you, and I want to know if this was, did I overreact? A few years back, unfortunately, two of my friends died of heart attacks, like back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And Sharon, I freaked out because these are men that I grew up with. So we're in the same age range and, that whole thing. And it bothered me so much, Sharon, that I made an appointment with my doctor to have a stress test. Now, the doctor said to me, you just can't walk in here and have a stress test. Something has to be wrong with you. So I just said, and I'll be honest, Cindy, I was like, my chest hurt.
There you go.
My chest hurt. So there's like, okay, you can have the stress test. Unfortunately, it came back good. Now, but Sharon, is having, my question to you is, having a stress test, is that a strong indicator that you have a strong heart, or it still doesn't matter?
It's a huge indicator, and it's so huge that when I did my stress test a few years ago, my numbers were so off that it was ridiculous. I had to go back, got up from the stress test. They came and got me out and said, listen, we need you to go to the emergency room, right? And I was like, go to the emergency room. I was like, yes. So I go to the emergency room, and I found out that I had my valves I had leaky valves. So now you're gonna say, well, leaky valves. So leaky valves are important because that's when you start getting, it's like a sink. You get the crack in there and the water's not quite going all the way up, some squirting out. Well, after years and years, that little crack becomes a big hole. So could you imagine your blood is going up and then it's going out here and some of it's going up. So
Right.
that's a leaky valve. So that needs to be watched. Now, leaky valves, they can heal themselves. They can heal themselves or they could stop growing. And so you want to know that because the leaky valve is important because that's just your heart. Your heart's not supposed to do that. Your heart's supposed to do regular.
Right.
It's
Wow.
like clapping. It starts. You ever clap so fast your hands start hurting? Well, that's what happens with you. That's what happens, with your heart. So you want to find out: do you have leaky valves? You also want to find out. Some people say, well, you have a heart murmur. Do you know what a heart murmur is?
What is it?
A heart murmur is a flap. It's a hole in your heart. Does that sound good?
No.
No.
Okay, so when they tell you have that, that's an indicator right there. There's something wrong. So you want to have that checked. Because so without the heart, you can live without your brain, but you can't live without your heart. Your heart is so important, and we treat it as if it'll always be there. Not true. Because it starts to wear and tear after a while. So it's like smoke. When that smoke goes in, they said it's smoke, and you think about your lungs. How many people get their lungs checked?
Right.
People
Right.
don't. They don't get their lungs checked because they just assume that their lungs are fine. All of our lungs are probably damaged. Look at all the smoking. I smoke nothing. But the stuff that's in the air, when I walk into the room and Shawn is smoking a hookah, that means that smoke that he's smoking gets into my lungs.
Right.
So
Wait. Just for the record, I did my hookah run and vape, and I stopped. I don't even
good
do it anymore.
good for you,
Just
Shawn.
for the
And
record.
nobody has ever died from marijuana. Nobody's feels like, oh, he died because he smoked too much weed. Nobody's ever died from marijuana.
I don't smoke
Marijuana is
weed.
a herb. Now, this stuff that they're smoking now, when I walk into the room, SennyJ, if you getting it on, you smoking it, and I'm sucking that smoke in, then that smoke is affecting me. So I have to change the environment that I'm in. Not to say
Right.
you have to change what you're doing, but we still have to, and I'm being very serious, we still have to be mindful of what you're putting in your body You know, you ever go to the bathroom, you look like, yo, what the hell did I eat?
Yeah.
It's the same thing as what comes out of your body. So you got to,
Right.
you know, you got to kind of watch that. So with your heart, you want to definitely, really, really, really be mindful of it. When you go to the doctor, say, hey, listen, can I get an echo? Can I get an echocardiogram? Oh,
Right.
well, why do you need an echo? The doctor's going to say, well, you know, say my aunt,
Yeah.
she just had a stroke. My uncle, he died. And
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that it's not in there, because what's happening is the others, they get echoes all the time.
I'm
We
actually
don't get
getting one
echoes.
on. I actually have to get one on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited. So I'll let you guys know how it goes.
Yeah,
Oh,
because Sharon, I was
I'm
about to
excited
ask you.
for
That
you
was
as well.
Sharon. That was going to be my next question. Sharon, I'm 16,000 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
God willing, next week I'll be 59 or 58,
Mm-hmm. I'm
and
coming
I've
to the
had
party.
2 stress tests in my since in my 50s. What's the average age? Not the Babylonians, you already talked about that, but blacks and
Mm-hmm.
Puerto Ricans. What's the average? Because Sydney's 30. She's 36,
37.
right? Sydney's still 36.
I'm 37. I'm 37.
Oh, you're 37. Okay, she's 37.
Yeah.
Sharon, what's the average age for us, all us cousins, to have a stress test?
Well, it depends on your living and how healthy you are. I would say in your 20s, you should start, because stress is not just paying a bill. Stress comes in all different forms, and it looks different for everybody. It looks completely different. I am I don't have any stress in my life right now. I don't have any, because I told you I push them out the door. If I see it coming, and then it's called just managing it and maintaining um, how you manage what you allow. What you allow to come in and get you uptight. Because you ever got so pissed off at somebody your head starts hurting?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh
Yeah,
my God, this person gave me a head. You know that's stress. So
Mm-hmm.
you just sent some waves to your heart, letting your heart know that, hey, and your heart is over here struggling. It's like, yo, I'm trying to be with you, bro, but people tell you relax. When I was having my heart attack, do you know, in my head I kept on saying to myself, calm down, Sharon, stay calm, stay calm. I walked to urgent care having a heart attack, got there and collapsed. It was like, oh, this chick is getting ready to she getting ready to take flight. It was
yeah,
horrible. But I didn't know that I was having a heart attack. I'm glad that I did know. I knew something was terribly wrong, though. I knew that this feeling, I've never felt this before. I don't know what this is, but this hurts like hell. I mean, and then things started slowing down. Like things started going real slow. I was like, what's going on here? But I
Right.
tell you what, I'm very excited and very blessed that the doctor that I had was an African doctor, African
all right,
American doctor. Okay. And he touched me. He did like this. He touched me like this. He said, oh, call 911. I'm in urgent care and they're calling 911, meaning that they didn't have the tools to take care of me.
right.
And mind you, when all of this was going on, I had all of the symptoms of a heart attack. So I want to let people know, because this is really important. Heart attack appears different in men than it is women. Women, we have so many tools that they're all used. Men, you're definitely going to have the arm, and you're going to have the chest pain. Women, we're going to have arm, we're going to have chest, we're going to have back, we're going to have breast, we're going to have jawline. Like this thing gets like really, really tight to the point it feels like your face is about to crack. So all of those are signs. And also be mindful of your blood pressure, Shawn and Sid. Be
Yeah.
mindful of your blood pressure. Sydney, you're going to you're going to do the test, because they saw something that they want to look at to make sure. Okay, the
Well,
test
well,
is cool.
Yeah, I have to
Sharon.
I'm having I'll be going under anesthesia, and so they just want to make sure everything's okay. Um and so yeah, so that's why. So it's cool.
Well, and that's
Well,
the great part, is that they're looking, and that because it's serious, it is serious, that they're going to
Sydney.
put you under, because they want to go in there and they want to look and make sure that there's nothing clogged, and if they have to put stents in, then they'll put them in, because normally when
Yeah.
you go under anesthesia,
Hold on,
that
hold on a
means
second.
that.
hold on a second, Sharon. Cindy, are you okay? Is that are you fine?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Well, you can have a private conversation with Sharon off when the show's over. Sharon, call Cindy. And I want to make sure she's okay. And when you have that conversation with Cindy, call me back because I want to know what's going on because she never tells me. Now,
Well, she
listen.
looks great though, and she has the right mindset. She has the perfect mindset because one of the things to do when you go in for anything that has to do with your heart, you want you want your stress level to be down here, but you want to be relaxed. And Sydney, you know a lot. You have a lot of information, so it'll balance you as you go in. You know, where you're laying down and like keep your mind relaxed and go in positive. You think positive, keep guard before you go in, while you're in, after you come out. Because if you give him you give him your fears, cast them over here. I got you, boo. You know, and you go in and you do this. But I'm happy that you're going in and you're checking. Also, remember, if they say, "Well, we see something, but we don't get a second opinion," don't rely
Okay.
on. Oh, I forgot this new thing with the phone. If you do stuff, it'll give you
Y'all about to say, where did the balloons come from?
This new thing with the iPhone, you could do little stuff with your hands and it'll send stuff. If I do hearts, and then it'll send up hearts. Forgot
it's real glitchy.
Listen, yeah. Sharon, hold on. This is what we're gonna do because again, let's clap. Come on.
Yes, Sharon, giving us the information we need.
On the Wake the F Up Monday, thanks to Wendy Gonzalez, Toxic Talk Tuesday. Sharon, we want you to come back next week because this is a part 2.
Yes,
because we want to get into because now I would love to get into your relationships with doctors, other people, and this whole community that you're a part of with the common bond of you guys, you know, with your illness. So Sharon, we're gonna have you on if you don't mind, next Monday. We're finished with we'll do a part 2. Is that okay?
I love it. Definitely. And remember, to all of the listeners out there, your family history matters. It is so important that you understand that your family history matters. If one person had something happen to them, that means that it's in the bloodline. It's in there and it matters. And so remember that, Sydney. You make sure that you call me. You can call me before you go. If you want me to go with you, I'll go. And I'm very serious. And you call me afterwards, you know, and you can even call me while you're there. I've done it when I've had people on the phone, like, listen, I'm having the procedure done. I just need you to stay on the phone with me, you know, until they tell me to get off. And, you know, and coast through it because it's important, you know, and you keep your mind clean, you know, and just remember a lot of Shawn's jokes. Remember a lot of them because they're going to help you.
I do really well at the doctor. Like, I also donate blood regularly. So every time you go to donate, they like take your blood pressure, take your weight, they check your iron. So I'm pretty healthy. You know, I'm not on any medications. I don't.
Good.
You know, so I love going to the doctor because I don't like going to the doctor because I feel like a lot of the time they're just experimenting. But when I do have to go, it's usually everything's fine. Everything's
good. And Shawn, you don't forget to get your prostate checked, Shawn. For the men, get them prostates checked.
Yeah.
Get them. Because,
prostates
are serious.
Yeah, I get my rectum invaded on a regular. So now, listen, guys.
As you should. Y'all like to invade women's rectum, so I think y'all should be a part of this.
and Sharon, let me put a pause on invading my rectum on a regular basis. All right. So listen,
he does love going over there, though. Any chance Shawn gets, he over there. He got the doctor, urologist, he's everywhere.
So put a number 1 in the chat.
On there.
No doubt. I got a 59-year-old rectum. It's been explored already. Pause. Listen.
Which is good. Hold on 1 second, Shawn. Which is good. My brother, he went and he found out that he had cancer. And they got it all out. But just think, I was like, yo, bro, you need to go to the doctor and let them check you. And he went and found out that he had cancer. And they cleared it all out. And today he's great. So, you know, getting that done is really, really important.
Well, I would like to say, fellas, get your rectum invaded on the regular. Stay alive. Cindy, we're gonna give you the last word. And put a number one in the chat room if you enjoyed the show today. Put a number two if you didn't. Put a number one in the chat room if you enjoyed the show today. Put a number two if you didn't. Rel Holla will be in the building this Thursday. I gave the picture to SennyJ. We're gonna post it and we're gonna promote it. Before SennyJ gives the last word, Sharon, just briefly, last word to our listeners before you come back next Monday.
Yes, definitely. I want to thank you both for having me on the show. We laughed a lot and we talked a lot. And the serious note is definitely get your heart checks, folks. It's very important. Heart disease is the number one killer of men and women, but primarily women. We rate high with that. Heart disease is definitely the number one factor for African Americans and Latinos. So we need to definitely get our heart checked. If you guys want to check me out, you can always go to the Heart Speaks Foundation. We're online, and if you, the way we function is we function by donations. We're not making money, so whatever donations we receive, we just did CPR, and I just want to mention that we just did CPR, hands-on CPR training for 9 through age 14. So we're showing the kids how to perform hands-on CPR only, because a lot of our kids take care of us, and it's overwhelming. So I want those kids to know how to do CPR. So we do that, and we did that with the American Heart Association, who came out, and we want to thank them. Don't forget to visit our website, the Heart Speaks Foundation. You can also catch us on Instagram at the Heart Speaks. You can also catch me on Instagram at sbon1. I'm all over social media. If you type my name in, if you want to know more about who I am, what I do, I go out and I speak and I share my story about heart disease. So you can Google me at any time, and I'm going to pop up, and I want to show you guys something. I got to step away from the camera real quick and show you guys something that is very, very important. And because people think that we don't get these, but you see this right here? This is an Emmy.
Yes,
right?
girl.
I won an Emmy. And this is important right here, okay? People were fussing about this morning. I heard on the radio about them not getting, and some comedians were arguing about them not getting any. So guess what? It's important that you do your work, because people notice what you do. You think they're not looking, but they are looking. So I'm proud of winning that Emmy. And I'm saying that to say that, I'm a survivor. I'm a heart attack survivor. And what happens is that I'm going to keep talking about heart disease, and I'm going to keep sharing my information. Shawn, as long as you'll have me come on the show, I'll definitely come on whenever you ask me. I'm 10 toes down, the new thing that they say. My toes, well, one of my toes is up because I had surgery on it. I'm 9 toes down, one up. But I'm here for you. I'm here for anyone. If anyone wants to reach out to me, again, you have my social media, SBON1. You have my website, the Heart Speaks Foundation. We're there because we care. And yes, a heart attack looks just like me.
Right. And Sharon, congratulations on winning your Emmy, and we truly appreciate you. And Sharon Barnes is a family member here on this show, and we love her so much. And she'll be back, God willing, next Monday for part 2 of the interview. Cindy, you got the last word. And thank you so much. And we appreciate everyone for listening to the show on Wake the F Up Monday. Cindy, you got the last word. Let's go.
Well, this is an oldie but goodie. Speaking to what Sharon said with winning the Emmy, when success happens when preparation meets opportunity. So stay ready so you won't have to get ready. There you go.
All right, guys. And let's clap. And Sharon, Cindy, let's wave at these folks. We see you on Thursday, Real Holla. We appreciate you. You guys be safe. We're out of here. Let's go.
I'm locked. Oh, Shawn, you didn't talk about the comedy show.
Oh, don't start me with that. Listen, Saturday, your boy Harvey is in New York City at Comedy in Harlem, 508 East 117th Street. Doors open up at 7, showtime 8. Sharon will be in the building, and we're going to have a good time.
Yes, I'm going to be there. I'm so excited. I'm excited. We're getting the table. My daughter's birthday, her girlfriend's birthday. So, hey, we got the party on. Pisces thing going on.
And if you don't know, again, Princess Cox, no pause. Bring the Emmy, yes.
I'm bringing this with me.
Girl.
Yeah, no doubt. And if you
Listen, I might not have fought in a long time, but don't mean I didn't forget how to. You touch that if you want to. You want some of that?
I hear that.
I done beat heart disease. I done beat a heart attack. I will beat your ass.
Oh
sorry.
boy. All right, calm down, Sharon. Sharon, calm down. We don't want you with no stress at all. Yo, Princess Cox, no pause, will be in front of the building, Comedy in Harlem, March the 2nd at 7 p.m., protesting and giving therapy sessions. Come on, guys.
Yes. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
All right, we out of here. We see you guys Thursday.